This call came through earlier. Please forgive the clicking sounds. It's required.
Call is now being recorded.
Hello? Is this the V2V podcast?
Yes, it is. You're speaking with Aurelius. How can I help you?
I have a problem with your last episode.
Oh, really? What's that?
What the fuck are you doing making fun of Arnold Schwarzenegger?
Who?
Schwarzenegger.
You say that again?
Schwarzenegger. Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Oh, yes. What's the problem?
Arnold is a great man. You should be ashamed of yourselves for ambushing him into ridiculous interviews.
Well, I don't think we're ambushing him.
Give me a fucking break.
Why would you say that?
Well, for one thing, his new movie,
Yes, his new movie. What's it called?
The Hungry Games.
Yeah, we spoke to him about that. What's the problem?
Why are you making fun of him? I don't see you making any movies. Just this stupid podcast that nobody listens to.
Give me a break, lady.
Give me a fucking break.
Welcome to the V2V podcast with Shorts and Aurelius. This is episode number 25.
Hey there, 25.
Wow, how did we get so far so quickly?
I don't know. I guess we just started talking and then, we just kept talking.
It's all bullshit.
It really is, but I love it. It's the bullshit that we kind of talk about anyway.
That's true. And surprisingly, there are at least a few people who seem to be interested in what it is that we're talking about.
Yes, it's miraculous, actually.
That's the craziest part.
Nuts.
So, what's going on?
Not much here. We had a flooding at the apartment, so I'm moving tomorrow, so we're doing this episode early today.
The flooding.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. There was water pouring down from the ceiling and shit.
Oh,
but
yeah.
there's some interesting stuff going on at this apartment complex. And this apartment complex is kind of historic, too. Because it's kind of posted a lot of interesting different things that have gone on and different people that have been here. Including Nirvana and L7 trashing Geffen's room here.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah. But there was a transition between companies that own this complex. And since that transition, everyone's apartments are flooding. And we kind of think that it's being done on purpose.
Oh, wow. That's a scoop.
Yeah, I know. It's kind of interesting because it wasn't happening before, but everyone's getting it now. But the idea behind it being that, these issues happening within the first year of transition between companies means that they can still charge Oakwoods. The Pearl can still charge Oakwoods for these repairs. Well, it's equity, actually. Equity charging Oakwoods, yeah. So there's kind of these things going on here, but it's weird. I guess this is kind of the last days of this place, really, because it's pretty run down. Most apartments have asbestos and mold and leaking and things going on, and everyone who lives here is living here pretty cheap for living in this part of town.
Right.
So it's kind of what you get.
Oh, sure. That whole area, just the beach area itself, it gets so much wear from the salt wind.
Yeah.
That a lot of those places in general are pretty run down just because they're weathered and it's almost kind of an aesthetic, like a beach aesthetic, where you almost expect it. I mean, not that it's a good thing, but it's common. That's for sure. Like
Yeah.
the beach house apartments on the boardwalk. Like,
Sure.
yeah, right. You're gonna pay $4,000 a month or upwards of that for a 1-bedroom apartment that is just that you wouldn't move into if it was anywhere else.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
Because you don't really live inside here. You just sort of sleep and wash yourself and cook occasionally. You know, you just kind of like live outside here all the time. And I guess that's the idea.
Right. Well, yeah, people outside of the area don't really understand that very well.
Yeah.
And I mean, obviously, people live outside permanently, fairly successfully. Like, to put it into like survival terms, like to be able to live in Southern California mostly or almost entirely outside as opposed to almost anywhere else, it just isn't even reasonable. So I get it. It sucks, but I mean, I think the owners of these buildings or houses or structures in general should certainly pay more attention and maybe move off of the total like profit idea and actually do something for the people that pay their bills. But yeah, I guess that's just kind of the way of the world, you know?
Yes. Yeah.
So we're getting a little political almost now.
Right? Anyway.
Speaking of politics, it is election season.
Yeah.
And I thought we could bring in one of our regular guests to talk a little bit about what's going on, maybe give an endorsement, maybe give an anti-endorsement, whatever that might mean. So, yeah, he's here.
Yeah.
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah, how you doing, Marcus? Yeah.
Well, welcome back. You're back?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm back. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. How you're funny. You're the famous comedian Marcus now. Oh, yeah. Yeah, you're funny. This guy's funny. Yeah.
So, Arnold, let's talk politics. So what's going on?
Well, you know, this is the voting season and it's time to do the politics. So, I'm here to endorse, the guy running for this, the gerrymandering. You know, we wanted to stop, you know, Jerry and me. We're both, in the same page of this. We both don't like, the reverse eggs in the basket. We feel that, you know, the eggs in the basket alone is painful enough. And the gerrymandering is, you know, for not sticking the balls in the asshole while the cock is in the pussy. Yeah.
So there's a candidate named Jerry Mandarin? Is that did I hear that right?
Yeah, Jerry Mandarin. Yeah, he's fantastic. Yeah.
So this has nothing to do with the political mapping called gerrymandering, does it?
Yeah, no, nothing to do with this at all. No, why would I have anything to do with this? This is silly. This is more about a sex move, a very painful one, and one that I don't recommend any of the men out there try, even though you're curious during the intercourse. Yeah.
So you're not endorsing that?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not endorsing Jerry. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, actually, I'm against this guy, Jerry Mandarin. He's very bad. Yeah, he hurts. Yeah. Yeah.
Sounds like you just did a classic political flip-flop there, Mr.
Yeah. Yeah, flip-flop. Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, the flip. The sound it makes when you're walking and you make the flip flap. Yeah, this is what we do in the power picks, We say one thing and then we do the other. Yeah.
gotcha. You're not, by chance, sponsored by Flip Flop, are you?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sponsored by the flip flap. It's not authentic flip flap unless it makes the flip flap sound. The flip flap, flip flap. And if it's not making this sound, then it's some Chinese knockoff. Don't buy it. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's Arnold Schwarzenegger's political.
Yeah, I've got to go fuck the nanny. Yeah. Yeah.
Hold on. Don't go anywhere. Don't go anywhere yet.
Well, okay. What's going on?
I realize that might be important, but I wanted to ask you about some other things. Now, recently, we uncovered some old found audio of you reading for some parts that you didn't get. Now, this is not to say that you didn't deserve those roles, but you went on to do your own thing, of course. Successfully, very, obviously. I just wanted to ask about some of these screen tests that you took part in. One being you read for Forrest Gump.
Yeah, it was fantastic. Yeah, before they got the Tom Hanks and they had to play the retard, I've been in there to give it the old retard shot, I wanted to play someone really retarded who, was meeting his lifelong girlfriend, romantic partner with AIDS for the first time. Yeah.
Yeah, it was very interesting. I think you added a nice touch to
thank you. Yeah.
To the character for sure.
Yeah, it's a shame I couldn't have made this movie, because I think I would have done better than Tom Hanks, and I totally would have won the Oscar. Yeah. The other movie, what?
You read for Darth Vader.
Yeah. Yeah, I felt like this character needed to be an Austrian, sort of, android robot person. But unfortunately, the George Lucas, he went with the James Earl Jones voice instead. I felt that, my voice would have been better, but it was very interesting indeed to read for this, and what an honor. Yeah.
That would have been interesting, considering that was purely a voice acting role, which I don't think you've done that before, have you?
No.
Have you done any cartoon work or anything like that?
No.
I know that something, I don't think we have it queued up, but I believe you read for a part in Sister Act, too.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I wanted to, come in there for the sequel and play the Whoopi Goldberg character in the, underprivileged black, choir, and I wanted to, sing with all my hair to the gad and to feel back in the habit, it was fantastic.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, that's really interesting. We will definitely take a look.
Can I please talk about my fantastic tryout for Yanni Castle's role in the Dirty Dancing? Yeah, it was very dirty.
Oh, yes, that's another one. Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Patrick Swayze famously played that role.
Yeah, so, for me, playing a gigolo would, not be too far off, but then, I learned later on when they were casting the Jennifer Grey that she was actually playing the 16-year-old, and I didn't feel this would be good for furthering my career if I was a gigolo at a hotel hanging out and fucking all these rich women with diamonds in their pockets, and then, how the Johnny Castle kind of grooms this 16-year-old who's kind of a rich Jew. you know?
Sure. Oh, so in this case, you
didn't.
were actually offered the role, and you
Yeah,
on
I
your
was
own
offered the role
decided to turn
because
it
I
down.
could. Yeah, because I could do the lift perfectly with one arm or one finger with the Jennifer Grey. But for me, this role was enticingly, enticing to the pedophile, and I won't take part in this. Yeah.
Well, I think the late Patrick Swayze owes you a little bit of thanks. It made his whole career.
Yeah, it's amazing how people can overlook the fact that he was banging this 16-year-old violently and sort of still fucking other rich women at the same time while sort of perusing around in his hotel. Yeah.
Right. So is it true that you also were considering the Jerry Orbach role as as Baby's father?
Yeah, I wanted to play baby's father as a Jerry, but I felt like I couldn't put the baby in the corner, and that it was something I had to do, Yeah.
Right. This is the morality of Arnold Schwarzenegger, probably
In Hollywood,
how you got to become the governor of California. I think that played a large role in that, because if you had played that role, I doubt that you would have ended up being successful in politics for the very reason that you just stated. People wouldn't have looked at that in a positive light.
This is true. But the famous scene where, they do the heartbeat, gagoom, gagoom. It's like a heartbeat. You've got to feel it. Gagoom, gagoom. Yeah, I feel this also is manufactured bullshit of Hollywood. He didn't love her. He didn't care for her. They hope that, this is, I would have liked it if the Dirty Dancing was about, the pedophile, a gigolo, but he turns violent in there because he has to find the murderer, and he has to destroy everyone at the hotel. This would have been much better, Dirty Dancing. Yeah.
Have you considered rewriting the script to your liking?
Maybe I'm thinking of doing this maybe next week or next year, but listen, I have to go because I have to fuck the nanny. She's calling.
Thanks for coming on the show, Arnold.
Yeah.
Arnold Schwarzenegger, everybody.
Yeah, he's amazing, that guy.
I mean,
always great. It's so cool that we can just connect to him, too, We always have a line to Arnold.
Well, I think it has something to do with what we were just talking about. In fact, where you live, where I lived, right in the heart of Venice, Marina del Rey, Santa Monica area. I mean, that's where he is.
Yeah.
That's where he lives and breathes and rides his bike down the Venice Beach boardwalk every day. So it was.
It's true. I mean, he is as OG in Venice as I am.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's nice because we were able to establish a relationship with him over the years, where he trusts us. He knows that we're not going to, make fun of him, like make fun of his accent.
Yeah.
He's quite articulate. People really need to get away from the mockery of Arnold.
Yeah, I mean, he's incredibly
nothing but good things.
He's incredibly sensitive as well. I mean, if you listen to the things he's doing for the dirty kids and, the things that, he turned down the role for Dirty Dancing because he felt
that's amazing.
I felt like
mind blower.
That is, worthy of an award in itself.
Especially now in the, in the so-called Me Too movement. Like, he was trend-setting way back.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's amazing. So, wow.
Remarkable, man.
It's always a pleasure to have him on the show.
Yeah.
So normally at this time we do the Charlie Sheen update. And
yes.
I took a look to see what was going on with Carlos, and there's not much going on. So, so then I looked to his brother. I wanted to see what Emilio was up to. Absolutely nothing.
Wow.
I think they're just laying low right now, probably because of the kinds of things that Arnold is actually talking about. There may be some scandals brewing in that family that haven't been uncovered yet, but we'll keep our eyes and ears open.
Sure.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe Martin Sheen update, perhaps.
Yeah.
I can take a look, but my guess is that there's not going to be much going on with him either, because the last thing I knew, he was burning something on the steps of a Catholic church.
Yes, I remember that.
Yes, that's a hobby of his, actually. It's not really a protest; it's just something he likes to do for fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's very interesting. Well, let's see. He also had had heart surgery. Oh, let's see. Here we go. Out of the Independent, Martin Sheen. Oh, here's news.
Okay.
So the headline is Martin Sheen update out of the Independent, and the story is Matt Damon blasts charlatan psychics.
Huh. Wow.
I wonder if Matt Damon is going to be playing Charlie Sheen in an upcoming movie.
It's gonna what?
Maybe he's going to be playing the role of Charlie Sheen in an upcoming movie starring Matt Damon, where he burns stuff on the steps of a Catholic church.
I just don't think that he's interesting enough.
Well, considering the headline was Martin Sheen update, and then the story about what? It's not even the same guy.
No, I know. That's a bit weird. It's a bit
very weird.
Clickbaity.
A little bit. Like it's like all the meta tags they just list all of the male actors in Hollywood, so that whenever you look for one of them, like in this case, you look up Arnold Schwarzenegger update.
Yeah.
The first thing that pops up is actor Burt Reynolds dies, age 82. I don't even think they know each other or knew each other. I don't think they ever had anything to do with each other.
No, but there's that whole Kevin Bacon game thing where you can connect everyone 6 degrees, and
that's
so
fascinating.
I feel like that's probably a thing, and that's probably also an algorithm now that's running through all these sort of celebrity news things.
Oh,
Google.
Absolutely. Do you know the first movie that Kevin Bacon was in? Are you aware of what that is?
Ooh, that's a good one.
I do have the answer. No. I do have the answer. I'll let you know. So, but this is the origin of the 6 degrees. Like I have all of this info. It was Animal House.
Okay.
Back in 1978, I believe.
Wow.
He played a small part as one of the evil frat boys, and that began 6 Degrees of Kevin Bacon. Because there were so many people in that movie that, John Belushi. John Belushi. There was John Belushi was in that.
I remember John Belushi was in that, wasn't he?
Yeah, he certainly was, and he ended up dying 4 years after that movie was made, and in that short time, he became, some would say, most would say, deservedly a legendary comic actor.
Yeah.
You've seen Animal House, right?
I have not seen Animal House.
So what do you think about it? What's your take on Animal House, having not seen it?
Okay, so I think that it's about these sort of drunk frat kids at a school that's kind of dysfunctional and funny, and a lot of funny shit happens, and that's what I think.
Did you like it? Did you like the movie, having not seen it?
Yeah, I loved it. 2 thumbs up.
Yeah.
It's very funny, apparently. I mean, I do know the scene. I do know the scene between, like, the 0.0 scene, because Artie recited the whole thing on Howard Stern one time. He recited the whole scene. That's the only reason I know it.
Mr. Blutowski has no grade point average.
Yes.
0.0. So, any other movies that you haven't seen that I want to give your take on?
Yeah, I really like Saw, because I didn't see that, and I liked how...
So what's that about?
Well, that's about this guy named Cary Elwes, and he's stuck in this basement, and there's this clown dude on a TV screen who has these games for him to play. And it's really fun. And he chops off his leg.
That sounds almost like is that like one of those, I don't know, teen romps, perhaps? Like, I don't know what you characterize that as. Like, it sounds really kind of light and funny. Yeah,
it's one of those 80s movies.
I saw it.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh my gosh, that's great. So Cary Elwes, he was in The Princess Bride. You have seen that movie, right? Of course.
I have seen The Princess Bride. Inconceivable.
It's inconceivable that you hadn't seen that movie. So we don't need to talk about that.
No,
I mean, who hasn't seen that? It's like, why would you give a movie review for a movie that you've seen, everybody else has seen? We already know.
Yeah, that's
exactly
boring.
what happens. Correct.
Yeah. There's also this other film. There's this other film called the Big Lebowski, which is about this fat guy. It's about this fat guy called the Dude, and he has a rug, and this guy comes and pees on it, and they go bowling. And John Goodman loses his mind and pulls out a gun.
Whoa, that's quite a plot. Holy crap!
So cool. Yeah.
Is that like an action movie? Like,
no, not really. It's kind of more of a docudrama.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow. It sounds boring, perhaps. Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know who would want to see that. I mean, some of the elements sound interesting, like the bowling, maybe. And
yeah. I also really liked Adaptation.
Oh, my friend told me that's your favorite movie. You haven't seen it though, right?
No, but it's about Nicolas Cage, and he has a twin, and they're both going bald, and they can't write anything anymore. They're learning to like write English and talk to people. Yeah.
Oh wow, that's sounds like almost like Oscar bait. Like
like
one of those.
Yeah.
One of those epic, like, gosh, that's exciting.
Yeah, you got to go see that one. There's also Being John Malkovich, which is about this guy named John Malkovich, and he has this like room that people go into, and then they come out the other side, and Cameron Diaz is in it.
Oh wow! There's an actor named John Malkovich. Does she have anything to do with it? Or I guess you would. No, you haven't seen it.
No way. Anyway, so
yeah,
also,
that's wild. Like, so the movie's called Being John Malkovich.
Yeah.
There's also it's about a room. It's about a room.
Yeah.
That people go into, and then Cameron Diaz is there.
Yeah. It's super cool. I mean, like, why wouldn't you want to go see that?
Well, you haven't, and I think that says everything about that movie. And I really want to thank you for these reviews, because
I have
you're really
one more.
allowing people to get to the heart of. Oh, you have one more. So this is very exciting. Like, you don't really ever get like. I don't even know how to say it, a good review anymore. So that, everyone's talking about movies that everyone's seen, like, oh yeah, like Star Wars sucks, all that. Right. So it's nice that we can get this really refreshing take on movies that you haven't seen. And so what's the other one?
Okay, so there's this film called Easy Rider, okay? And it's about
Easy
these
Rider.
guys. Yeah. It's about this guy named Jack Nicholson, and he sits by a fire and he drinks a cactus.
He drinks what?
A cactus.
He drinks a cactus by the fire.
Yeah.
It's pretty high concept. Is it one of those like teen comedies?
It's a really long film too, apparently.
Really long.
Yeah.
Must be a big cactus.
I guess so.
Or they have a lot of wood to burn.
Yeah.
While he's sitting there drinking the cactus in front of the fire.
Yeah, all by himself. Yeah.
Is there like, should we warn parents of drug use perhaps in that one? Or do you know?
Well, I think it's just a cactus. I think it's fine. Yeah, I don't think anyone should drink cactus, but, I think, in this case, it's Jack Nicholson, so it's fine.
Well, it's a movie, too, I mean, people sometimes get confused about, what's portrayed on the big screen, it's so big and exciting, and then they want to go out and actually do that. It's probably not a good idea to emulate, what's in a movie. Like, I'm not gonna manufacture a lightsaber and like go tearing through the town like with a laser sword,
right,
slicing everybody up, because it looks cool, like it looks fun, but I'm not. I have the ability to understand that that's probably not a good idea. So So if any kids are listening, probably should stop listening to this. But even if you are, don't sit by fires and drink cactus just because Jack Nicholson did that. I know he's like a big deal and all that, but it's a movie. I didn't mean to get too stern right there, but it's a movie. It's for fun.
I just thought of another three, but they're all one movie. They're all part of one movie. They're all part of one movie.
Oh, a trilogy.
Okay. Yeah. So, it's called Lord of the Rings, alright? And basically this little dwarf dude who was North, he goes into this place where there's an old guy named Gandalf and a hot chick named Liv Tyler. And it's like 3 movies. Yeah.
An old guy named Dandruff?
Yeah.
So let me see if I get this right. There's a little guy.
Yeah, he's big North. No, there's no rings. There's no rings at all. No.
So he goes to see an old guy named Dandruff, and then Dandruff introduces him to Liv Tyler?
Yes.
Wow. I always thought that Liv Tyler kind of looked like a horse. Does she play a horse in this movie?
No. I love Liv Tyler. I'm a huge Liv Tyler fan, but then,
sorry. I'm not like saying a bad thing. I think that maybe, I don't know. She could play a horse.
Wait, but would she get that role over Sarah Jessica Parker?
Or, what's the pretty woman actress? What's her name?
Oh, Julia Roberts. My God.
So the three of them, Julia Roberts, Liv Tyler, and Sarah Jessica Parker,
Yeah.
could, hold on, let me look something up. Oh, they are actually this three starring actresses in the new My Little Pony live action film.
No way.
Yeah, they're going to play ponies. I think there's
Wow.
two for it. It'll be great.
That's amazing.
So we really went off track on your review, but I just got so excited about the possibility of Liv Tyler playing a horse. So Lord of the Rings, like worth not seeing. Lord of the Rings with no rings.
Yeah, sure. Not seeing.
It's worth not seeing.
Yeah.
Sounds fantastic.
Also,
more. There's always
yeah.
more.
Yeah. There's a film called Hellraiser with this guy who has these needles stuck in his face, and he's trying to get them out. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, man, that sounds painful.
Yeah, man.
Is that a documentary?
It's emotional. It's an emotional, dramatic comedy, actually.
Wow. I actually kind of want to see that. But but I probably won't. And still enjoy it just as much. Don't.
Yeah.
So you would recommend continuing to not see it and then really enjoying it.
Yeah. Just like I have all these years. Yeah.
That's awesome. So,
pretty cool.
Yeah, Short's movie reviews, unlike most movie reviews that I've ever heard, that's a nice fresh take on cinema. Maybe we should make this a regular segment.
You probably should, yeah. I'll have to find some more that I haven't seen.
Movies Shorts has not seen. So good.
Great.
That's fantastic.
I cracked myself up.
Well,
I wanted to ask you a question.
Yes. Oh, yes.
When
we were talking about this.
When you were in Scientology and you were sort of like, you had been baited for this higher position level because the other person left or whatever. I can't remember what you called it when you leave Scientology, but
you call it blowing.
Blowing. Okay.
Like he blew.
Right. Right.
Hey, what happened to Joe? Oh, he blew.
So, was there talk of Xenu at all?
Talk of what?
Xenu.
No.
No one was like even talking about the actual sort of like beliefs or functionings going on.
Yes.
Like, what?
No, and that would be really interesting to get into, like in a really like a full length discussion about that or interview, because there are some misconceptions about the practices, and how they don't necessarily relate to all of the literature or stories.
Right.
Some of these are definitely, even within Scientology, considered allegorical, kind of like biblical stories that aren't necessarily seen as true. So, and this is not to defend Scientology, but of course people are going to find out about Xenu dropping people into volcanoes out of airplanes, and then conflate that and because that's ridiculous, and it's interesting and it's funny, and it makes it really, really easy to put that up, point to that stuff, and then immediately refocus on the general goings on of people in Scientology who really have nothing to do with any of that.
Right.
And it's just like someone, talking about Moses and the burning bush and how that's so ridiculous, and but no real like devout Christians in their lives almost ever are thinking about or pondering or believing that some guy was talking to a burning bush. But that's real. I mean, that's part of the literature, but or Noah's Ark and all of the goofy stuff that goes along with the logistics of putting every animal in a boat, and that's not big enough, and that where's all the shit go?
Right, and what about the predators?
So, but to get back to Xenu, really, that is, that literature really exists, and it's presented in some very expensive upper level auditing courses that almost nobody can afford or actually does. Most of the people this is interesting, most of the people who do those courses at that level, I mean, like I was saying, this is upwards of $1,000 to $5,000 an hour to sit with the soup cans and have the guy ask you questions. A lot of the people who do that they're on staff, so they get staff auditing for free. There's but there's a caveat with that. If you're on staff and you getting all this auditing work done, and you leave, you blow that pop stand. That's where the term kind of came from, like that old 50s jargon that Hubbard was so fond of. So if you leave, you can be saddled with what's called a freeloader's debt, where the trick just says, oh, by the way, all that stuff that you were getting for free, now it's retroactively not free, and here's an invoice for $25,000 or whatever the case is, and that's real. That's one of the techniques that they use to hold shit over people's heads very effectively. You are not leaving, and here's the price tag for you leaving. So that's something that isn't really discussed either. They don't have to sue you. All they have to do is send you a bill. And if you don't pay the bill, it's going to go in your credit report. It's going to mess you up. So, so that, in short, that's what people are talking about. South Park, and all the things that they really cherry picked from this group, to make it even more ridiculous than it already is, and dangerous, by the way. It's not, you could disregard all that stuff, it doesn't exist, because it almost really doesn't exist. And Scientology is it's evil-minded and dangerous anyway. Yeah. So, I really would love to get into a more in-depth discussion again about some specifics like this in maybe a further episode. for sure. I think it would be really interesting. People are giving me a lot of good feedback about what I talked about, the questions you asked me, survivors who have really come forward. These, I guess, 4, the 3 parts and then the full uncut interview. In, I guess, 5 days now. That grouping of 4 videos, 4 interviews has topped like all of the other most popular things that we've done in that time.
Cool,
like
man.
the interview that you did with Eric Thor from Sunset Bay.
Yeah.
Very like popular. We published that about a month ago. It's very popular. The Scientology stuff just leapt over all of that within less than a week.
Wow.
So we're definitely touching some nerves, and I'm waiting, frankly, for some like blowback, and it's just not coming. I know that because of the hashtags I put on it, you know, and if you search YouTube, like those videos are already like on like the second page, like they're already there. Mixed in with all of the Scientology propaganda stuff, like we're right below that. It's really interesting. I love it. Like, so I definitely want to keep doing that because, just like the teen survivors, there are a lot of people out there, in a number, in any number of groups or systems or programs that people have been a part of for whatever reason. Naivete, they got tricked, they got forced. There are a lot of people out there who have been under the fist of these types of programs that don't have any avenue to speak out, or or they're afraid. So I love the fact that we can provide an outlet, that's safe, and it can be anonymous. Like Natalie,
me too.
And Mel, these really wonderful people who didn't have an outlet to speak up through, and I'm really humbled that we're actually able to do this. It blows my mind every day.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, man.
It is pretty cool. Wow.
All right,
went from like super lighthearted to like super like sincere. That's a nice arc.
We always do that, though. We always do it.
We always do it. Yes. All right.
All right,
fantastic. Man. Episode 25 in the book. All right, and
in the book.
I will.
Please like and subscribe. Please like and subscribe if you like
Please
it.
Like and subscribe. I heard someone say the other day that this was the pitch. Like is not a strong word. So if we've reached that low bar, press the like button. Like, what? I'd rather have people really like it and not give it a fake like, like fuck a fake like. So, but like subscribe. I noticed that, I know we keep going on, I was doing a little bit of research and I noticed that only about 20% of the people who are listening to our show are actually subscribed to us.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's cool.
We're talking to you.
So there's a whole bunch of people out there, like hundreds of people, who are like checking us out and like apparently over and over again too. So rather than having to try to find V2V, you can subscribe to us and then press the little bell, and you'll get like YouTube notifications that, hey, Shorts and Aurelius have put something else up that's ridiculous or funny or serious, whatever, or some other weird music thing or whatever it is. Like, we're always doing weird stuff.
Hey, and by the way, we really like it when you dislike as well. If you don't like it, tell us. Let us know that something's done.
Oh yes, right. Because we got a dislike like the other day. They're rare. Yeah. Like really, they're pretty rare. But like that's always appreciated too. Or leave a snarky comment. You know, somebody said one of the shows that we did was unlistenable, all caps.
Cool.
So that was cool. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
All right. Till next time. Bye.
Later. Bye.